In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to add a macro and best practices in Zendesk. We'll walk through the full setup process from inside Zendesk, and I'll also point out a few practical tips along the way so your macro is not only created correctly, but is also easy for your team to understand and use later. First, go to Zendesk and make sure you're on the main agent area. Once you're there, look to the top left corner of the screen and click the drop-down menu. This is where you can access additional parts of the platform beyond the standard ticket view. From that drop-down, select Admin Center. This is the area where you manage system settings, workflows, and tools like macros. After Admin Center opens, find and click Workspaces. Inside Workspaces, click on Macros. This section is where all saved macros are stored, managed, and updated. Now click Create Macro to start building a new one. At this point, Zendesk will open the macro setup screen where you can define exactly what the macro does. Begin by adding a name. Choose something clear and specific so it's easy to find later. A good macro name should quickly tell other agents what the macro is for, especially if your team uses a large number of saved responses or actions. Next, add a description. This is a best practice that helps give context to anyone using or editing the macro in the future. Keep the description short but useful. For example, it should explain when the macro should be used or what outcome it is intended to create. After that, add the action. This is the most important part, because the action determines what the macro will actually do when applied. Depending on your workflow, this could involve updating ticket fields, inserting a response, or setting the ticket up for the next step in your support process. As you configure this, make sure the action matches the exact purpose described in the name and description. Once everything looks correct, click Create to save the macro. Before you finish, take a moment to review what you entered. A well-built macro should be easy to recognize, clearly explained, and consistent with your team's workflow. Keeping names organized and descriptions meaningful can save a lot of time later, especially when multiple agents rely on the same set of macros. And that's it. You've successfully created a macro in Zendesk and followed a few simple best practices to make it more effective and easier to manage.